And welcome into match number 3 of the 15th annual NJC Spectacular Gold Pool. I'm Ben Bleck here at the Bank of Colorado Event Center. Great matchup between two teams here in this pool that are favored not only in this tournament, but in 1A volleyball. The defending 1A state champ Otis Bulldogs against the Caliche Buffs, who have been ranked as high as 4 in some preseason polls. A lot of young players on both teams. This is going to be a very good matchup. I think a good test for both Caliche and Otis as to where they stand. Otis won their opening match in a sweep in this tournament, 25-13, 25-22, and 25-14 for Otis in their opening match against Heritage Christian. This is Caliche's first match. They'll play this one and the very next one against Heritage Christian back-to-back for them, and the Otis Bulldogs will be off for another match before they play Sterling JV in match number 5 of the day. In your video screen here today, you will see the Otis Bulldogs in red. They will be in the near side of your court for this opening game. Caliche will be in the white jerseys in the far court for this opening game. For Otis, they will start a senior Emily Palzer, a senior Kelsey Davis, a junior Haley Patterson, a freshman Mallory Noble, a freshman Antonia Schaffert, and a freshman Kylie Kuntz. Their libero is a senior Shiloh Kirby. That's for head coach Bonnie Kuntz. For head coach Jeanette Lambrecht and the Caliche Buffs, she'll start a freshman Jaden Lambrecht, a senior Hannah Yawn, a senior Kaylee Lewis, a sophomore Rachel Edler, a junior Megan Pierce, and a junior Sammy Morgan. She will have a junior libero in Taylor Weingart. So the opening of this one, we'll see the Caliche Buffs with the serve in the hands of Hannah Yawn. And we'll get our action underway here on this Saturday afternoon now. Yawn will float the serve down the middle, popped up by Patterson. Kuntz will throw it back to Schaffert on the near post. Her attack blocked by Edler, tipped back over. Lambrecht will turn. She'll set it up for Edler. Her angle attack dug out by Noble back row. Kuntz will set it up for Patterson. She's blocked at the net. Ball was dug out by Noble even though it was going out. Patterson will turn and return it over. Ball popped off the block of the net. Edler to Lambrecht. Underneath it goes Morgan. Too big and out. And a hitting error gives Otis the opening point here in game number 1. That'll hand the serve to Antonia Schaffert. Schaffert will line it into the net, and that service error will even us at 1 apiece. Onto the floor on the front row comes Jess Taylor. Lambrecht with the serve, fielded by Patterson back row. She'll be reset, tipped at the net by Taylor on the block. Tipped back deep and down by Rachel Edler, and Caliche takes a 2-1 advantage. Lambrecht will take the serve. She'll line it deep. Ball popped up back row by Schaffert. Kuntz will throw it back, looking for Davis, and the set was too wide for Davis to do anything with. And it's now 3-1 in favor of the Caliche Buffs, and Jaden Lambrecht will continue with the serve. Now the official's going to come out and have a conversation with the up judge. I think Caliche may have served out of order. Res Christian's looking like they're going to force a 5th set with Akron. The coaches will get together and have a conversation with the two of them. And everything is good. 3-1 serve from Lambrecht, fielded by Schaffert back row. Kuntz will set it up for the attack deep from Palzer, too deep and out. Caliche takes a 4-1 advantage. Lambrecht lines a serve near side to be popped up by Patterson. Kuntz will set it back up for Patterson. She'll go down the line, too big and out. 5-1, Caliche takes the early advantage. Lambrecht will line the ball deep, popped up by Patterson back row, set up for Davis. She'll punch it deep, checked up by Jan. Lambrecht underneath it. She'll go for Edler. Tipped down the line, diving dig out by Kuntz. Noble will set it up near side. Patterson angle back in. Edler keeps it in play, tipped onto the Otis side. Noble back down. Taylor then back up to Davis, and Davis spikes it down and in for a kill. So 5-2 Caliche early on, and the serve goes to Kelsey Davis. Davis will line the ball deep, popped up by Jan back row, bump set up by Lambrecht, and a free ball over by Taylor. Stepping into play, it is Schaffert. Kuntz will set it up for Noble. Noble blocked at the net. Sammy Morgan and Rachel Edler, maybe the two best blockers on the Caliche team, side by side there to deny the Otis offense. 6-2. Onto the floor will come Jess Taylor for Caliche, and Sammy Morgan will serve. Morgan puts the ball down the middle, fielded by Schaffert for Otis. Kuntz underneath it. She'll come to Patterson on the near side. Her attack dug out back row by Lambrecht. Bump set up by Taylor, punched over the top of the block of the net by Edler. Kuntz will set it back up onto the left post for Patterson, and the ball never hit the net. That was a 4-hit violation. 7-2 go the Caliche Buffs. Sammy Morgan with the serve. Line down the middle, popped up by Schaffert back row. Kuntz will back set to Patterson. She'll tip it over the top of the block. Jan digs it out. Set down the middle goes for Pierce. And Pierce tips it down and deep. Set up by Kuntz to Patterson off the block of Pierce. Kuntz will go back to the near post, and through the block of Pierce that time goes Patterson. Lambrecht sets it up for Taylor, freeing it deep. Found the back corner and in. A free ball could not be chased down by Otis. And it is 8-2, 10 points in to game number 1 here at the 15th annual NJC Spectacular. Line serve down the middle, and a free ball will end up getting over and down. Noble will get credit with the kill on the free ball and a misplay on the Otis serve receive. You get away with it sometimes, as Haley Patterson, the junior, will take the serve. Patterson lines it down the right line, popped up by Hannah Jan. Set up for Jan from the back row. The lefty push deep, popped up by Patterson. Kuntz will throw it up for Palzer, and Emily Palzer rifles that one inside the block and down in front of the back line to make it 8-4. Patterson will float the ball short, checked up at the 10-foot line by Edler. Lambrecht will go to Taylor. Ball punched onto the Otis side of the net, and it's not going to make it over. So Caliche takes a 9-4 advantage. All the sponsors you're hearing throughout the day are making it possible for us to bring this broadcast. I'd like to give them all a big thank you, including Akron Auto, Citto, and Superior Fertilizer, among many, many more. Line attack deep by Palzer, dug out by Edler. Jan with the attack off the block of the net. Return back by Otis and Palzer. Knocked up by Jan back row. Reset to Jan on the right post. Her turn attack goes down and in for a kill. Hannah Jan makes it 10-4 in favor of the Caliche Buffs here in game 1. Edler will step up and line the ball down the middle. Popped up by Palzer. Kuntz to Noble. Noble angling it deep. Too deep and out. It's 11-4, and a timeout going to be taken by Bonnie Kuntz for the Otis Bulldogs, as her team is not getting it going here in set number 1. Bulldogs offense, even in the sweep against Heritage Christian, never really felt like it got going. I mean, Haley Patterson had a monster of a game in that win against Heritage Christian, but you need more than that. You need Emily Palzer, you need Noble, you need Shepard. I mean, you need the balance. That's what made Otis so good last year. Rachel Edler will have the serve out of the Bulldog timeout. Buffs up by 7. Serve fielded by Noble. Kuntz will set it up for Palzer. She'll angle it down deep. Dug out back row by Morgan. Back row free to be played over by Edler. Popped up. Kuntz will turn. Set it up for Palzer. Palzer's attack. Too big and out. And Caliche goes up by 8, 12-4. Actually, they reset that. They say it was clipped on the back line, so 11-5. The serve then comes to not Jess Noble, the younger Noble. Noble gets a dig out off the Pierce attack, and the angle to the back corner by Shapper. It's Mallory Noble. When you covered their sister for 4 years, you're going to get the name wrong a time or two, but have an opportunity to cover Mallory in 4 years for this Otis team. Line down the middle for Mallory, popped up by Rachel Edler. Set up for Hannah Yon. Yon bangs the ball down. 12-6 here in the opening game of this match. 5th game just forced between Akron and Resurrection Christian. That likely for the championship in the Blackpool. It's a line serve down the middle from Kaylee Lewis. Back onto the Buff side on the tip set by Kuntz. Set to the back corner for Shani Stump. Set up to the post. The big attack by Antonia Schaffer. Popped up on the backside. Free ball be played over by Kaylee Lewis and deep. Checked up backside by Noble. Set down the middle, and the tip by Palzer into the block at the net. Kept in play, and then a free ball played deep by Patterson. Dug up back row by Edler. Chased down by Lewis, and then a free ball played over by Yon. Checked up by Noble. Back row. Kuntz underneath it. She'll shoot it to the far post for Schaffer. Schaffer with the attack. Dug up by Edler. Lewis will set it up for Yon, and the set goes outside the post. Unable to get a clean play on that, and that setting error will make it a 12-7 affair in favor of Caliche. Serve will come from Kylie Kuntz. She'll knock it down the middle, fielded by Edler. Lewis will set it up, and a swing and a knock into the net on a hitting error by Shani Stump for Caliche. And Otis is inched back within 4. Serve deep from Kuntz, popped up by Morgan. Back row, Lewis will give it out to Pierce, and Pierce will turn and punch it down. 13-8 to go in the Caliche Buffs. Pierce will exit, and libero Taylor Weingart will serve for her. Taylor puts it down the middle, popped up back row by Patterson for Otis. Set it up for Palzer. Her attack dug out by Lewis. Bump set up by Edler, and Yon over the top of the block of the net. Ball popped out by Kuntz, and in the net went the block of the Otis Bulldogs to make it 14-8. Weingart with the serve once again. Floated down the left line, popped up by Schaffer. Kuntz underneath the back row swing will come for Patterson. Her attack dug up back row by Weingart. Lewis will set for a back row swing from Edler over the top of the block, popped up by Patterson. Kuntz will set it up for Kelsey Davis. She's blocked over and out. Kelsey Davis gets a kill and cuts the lead back down to 5. Serve, line deep, popped up back row by Yon, set up, and a big pound down and in for a kill by Sammy Morgan. Caliche content right now to trade power shots. Short serve popped up by Schaffer. Kuntz will tip it into the block at the net, and that was an offensive play. Kylie Kuntz is in the back row for Otis, and she cannot play a ball offensively higher than the net cord. She did. So 16-9. The line serve down the middle, popped up by Patterson. Set up, and Patterson will turn and punch it deep. Dug up backer by Yon. Lewis will throw it out to the post for Edler. Down the line she goes and knocks it in for a kill. excited is head coach Jeanette Lambrecht because she stayed away from the net and the antenna. She had one angle to play on that ball, and that was it. And, well, she got it in perfectly. 17-9 Buffs. Set up. The attack from Shafford is blocked at the net, and down it goes to make it 18-9. Head coach Bonnie Kuntz for Otis told me at the start of the day, we're looking forward to this tournament. We need to be tested. So far this season, she said, we haven't really gotten a good test. We've only played a couple matches, but she was very much so looking forward to these matchups today, knowing she was going to get at least 2, if not 3, tough tests. Adler with a big swing for the Caliche Buffs. Attack, dugout back row. Bumps it up and a free ball over and deep by Noble. Checked up by Weingart. Underneath it goes Lewis. She'll throw it back. Shaney Stump tipped down the line. Popped up by Antonia Shaffert. Reset to Patterson on the left post, and she's blocked back. 19-10. And we're going to see a sub onto the floor. Another one of the freshmen for the Otis Lady Bulldogs. And Lisette Burgess will check on for Kelsey Davis. Caliche Buffs will bring Jaden Lambrecht back on, as well as Jessica Taylor. Lambrecht lines the ball down the middle, nearly got an ace. Kuntz will set it up for Patterson. She's blocked, kept up high by Kuntz. Bumps that up by Shaffert, and a back row free ball will be played deep by Emily Palzer. Checked up by Jan. Lambrecht underneath it. She'll go to Edler on the right post, and her attack down and in for a kill. 20-10. Caliche Buffs doubling up the Otis Bulldogs here in the opening game. Line short, popped up back row by Patterson, or by Palzer. Patterson will get the attack, dug up by Edler on the front row. Set up down the middle for Taylor. Taylor's attack, diving dig out, and a free ball be played back over by Palzer. Underneath it goes Weingart. Lambrecht sets it up down the middle for Sammy Morgan. A dynamite go boom, my friends, and she just lowered it right there to make it 21-10. And another timeout will be taken by the Otis Bulldogs. They find themselves being put down pretty easily right now by this Caliche Buff team. That being said, that's why you play 3 out of 5. Just look at the previous match we had between Heritage Christian and Sterling JV, where Sterling JV looked like they were going to be in solid control of that one the way they closed out the opening game, and it ended up going 5, and Heritage ended up taking that one. Match 3 on the gold pool sees Akron down 5-4 in the decisive 5th game to Resurrection Christian. They just tied it up at 5. Cole Honstead has coverage of that. Same site you're watching this on, ColoradoPreps.tv. Caliche Buffs up 21-10 on Otis. Burgess will exit for the Otis Bulldogs. Back onto the floor comes senior Kelsey Davis. Jaden Lambrecht with the serve. It'll be popped up back row by Patterson. Set out to Patterson. Her attack blocked at the net down by Morgan and Taylor. 22-10 go the Caliche Buffs. Lines are deep by Lambrecht. Popped up back row by Palzer. Kuntz will set it up for Davis. Tipped down the line and in for a kill. Great play by the senior right there. And the serve will be lined wide and out by Kelsey Davis, so the Buffs go up 23-11. Sammy Morgan takes a serve for Caliche. Morgan Lines it down the middle, popped up by Schaffert on the back row. Kuntz will throw it back into the hands of Patterson, punch deep, dug out by Lambrecht. Taylor will run bump set, and a free ball will be played over by Edler. Schaffert up, Kuntz set, Patterson far side, her attack off the block of the net, kept in play. Kuntz will reset to Patterson, double in her face again, gets it down the line this time. Popped up by Morgan, Lambrecht set far side, into the hands of Edler. Patterson digs it out, Noble will set to Patterson, flutter over the block of the net, popped up by Edler. Lambrecht will throw it behind her head into the hands of Jess Taylor. Her attack played down by Shiloh Kirby, and two Bulldog players collide. And 24-11, Caliche with a large handful, a couple handfuls of set points. Kelsey Davis will now exit for Carly Flagler, pardon me. Line down the middle, popped up back row, set up for Patterson. Patterson with the attack. She'll punch it down and in for a kill. Make it 24-12, still game points for the Caliche Buffs. Serve goes into the hands of Haley Patterson. Patterson lines the ball down the middle, fielded by Jan. Lambrecht underneath it. She'll set it up for Megan Pierce. Pierce dug out back row by the Otis Bulldogs. Patterson blocked by Pierce. Tip back over once again by Kuntz. Blocked again by Pierce. The attack from Palzer dug out by Edler. Lambrecht sets down the middle for Pierce. Banged off the block of the net. Kept in play. Schaffert will free it back and deep. Dug up back row by Sammy Morgan. Lambrecht sets up Morgan from the back row, and her attack into the net. Another game point staved off by the Otis Bulldogs at 24-13. Line serve toward the back corner. An ace by Haley Patterson makes it 24-14. Patterson lines the serve down the far side, fielded by Hannah Jan at the net, and a offensive play by the back row setter on a ball higher than the net. Lambrecht just trying to keep the ball on her side and ended up offensively tipping it into the Otis block, now 24-15. Line down the far side, popped up by Jan, set up into the hands of Pierce, angle back near side for Patterson. Patterson will turn, make the attack deep, popped up by Morgan back row, Lambrecht underneath it for Edler, inside the antenna, popped up on the front row by Noble, set up for Palzer, her attack deep, too deep and out. And Caliche will take the opening game 25-15. Game 2 coming up next. This is the 15th annual NJC Spectacular on ColoradoPreps.tv.
This broadcast of high school sports is being brought to you courtesy of the Alan Bear Agency of Akron. In times of such economic uncertainty, let Alan Bear and his staff serve as stability when it comes to your insurance needs. With years of experience serving their community with products in auto, home, and life insurance, the Alan Bear Agency is also available for farm, crop, business, and health insurance as well. Give Alan and his team a call today at 970-345-2310 or stop into 142 Adams in Akron to see how the Alan Bear Agency can serve you.
For certified windshield repair and replacement, you already know to call Smart Parts in Sterling. But what about grill guards, running boards, and other truck accessories, such as BW hitches and 3M clear protective coating for any vehicle? Smart Parts has what you're looking for. Ask about the Vortex system, used for sprayed-on truck liners to protect your truck bed from wear and tear while enhancing the beauty of your truck. For these and other services, see Smart Parts at 530 6th Avenue in Sterling, or call 522-5399.
Superior Fertilizer and Construction are proud supporters of the Caliche Buffs. They carry Hubbard feeds for all of your livestock needs. They are also a full-service ag dealer with dry and liquid fertilizer, anhydrous and Chemical Plus alfalfa and grass seeds. If you need a new pole building, give them a call. Same name, same location for 40 years. Give Superior Fertilizer and Construction a call today, 886-2161.
Akron Auto is proud to be the best pre-owned automobile dealership in northeastern Colorado. Quickly expanding, Akron Auto has 2 locations, the original on Highway 34 in Akron and a second on Highway 34 in Fort Morgan. Akron Auto wishes to thank local patrons for making their business possible and asks visitors to stop in and see what may be on the lot for you. Tax time is the perfect time to use your rebate on a car, truck, or SUV upgrade. Akron Auto, better for your budget.
These days, there's no free lunch, no free ride, not even.
Head to the second. Caliche taking the opening off the Otis Bulldogs, 25-15, match 3 here in the gold pool at the Bank of Colorado Event Center in the 15th annual NJC Spectacular. I'm Ben Blecka. The Caliche Buffs up that 1-0. Still a lot to work with. However, in this contest, Akron and Resurrection Christian in a tight 5th, 13-12. Akron on top of the Cougars. Where's the Caliche roster? I should know. There we go. Otis Bulldogs will have the serve to start the second. Fielded by Hannah Yon, and a back row free will be played deep by Taylor Weingart. Chased down back row by Noble. Underneath it goes Coons for Patterson. Her attack deep and in for a kill. Otis takes the opening point here in the second, just like they did in the first. Schaffert lines a serve in for an ace. So Otis able to get the first 2 points here in the second. Trying to get a run going their way, and Akron's got some match points over on the black court. Line serve will come down the middle, popped up back row by Kaylee Lewis, set up for Lewis, and Lewis trying to free it over, knocked it into the net, and Otis takes a 3-0 advantage. Schaffert with the serve, punch deep, popped up back row by Jan. Underneath it goes Lambrecht, and the attack banged down and in for a kill by Sammy Morgan. The first point of the second for the Caliche Buffs. They're now 3-1. Jaden Lambrecht will have the serve. Lambrecht lines the ball down the middle, popped up back row by Patterson, set it up for Patterson inside the block at the net, popped up by Edler. Lambrecht down the middle, Morgan over the top of the block, popped up by Kylie Coons. Bumps that up far side into the hands of Haley Patterson, and she pounds it down and in for a kill. 4-1 Otis here in the second. Palzer lines it down the middle. It'll be popped up by Edler, and it's going to take 4 hits to get it over, make it a 5-1 Otis lead here in the second. This Otis team responds very well when they find themselves in a tough position, and a quick timeout taken by Jeanette Lambrecht, and she takes out her frustration on that clipboard. That might be the shortest timeout I've ever seen. She spiked her clipboard on the ground. She pulled her team into the huddle, said, "Stay focused out there, now go." Didn't even take 20 seconds. Of course, she's still chewing from the bench after they go out there on the floor, but hey, this team trying to get sparked back up here in the second. It's 5-1, and Emily Palzer with the serve for the Otis Bulldogs. Line down the middle, popped up back row by Edler. Underneath it goes Lambrecht. She'll set it up for Taylor. Taylor knocks it down the line, dug by Noble, over and out. So just Taylor gets the first kill of the contest for her. And hands the serve over to Sammy Morgan. Morgan lines the ball down the middle and picks up an ace. Cuts the lead down to 5-3. Morgan knocks the serve into the net. Get a good ace, you follow it up with an error. I call that dog the bounty hunter. It's not pretty. Kylie Kuntz with the serve for the Otis Bulldogs. Popped up back row by Edler. Lambrecht underneath it. Set it up for Pierce. Megan Pierce's attack dug out. Tipped back over by Davis. Lambrecht will set it up this time for Edler. Far side. Off the block at the net. Kept in play by Patterson and freed over by Schaffert. Taylor will turn. She'll set down the middle for Megan Pierce, and Pierce pounds it down and in for a kill. 10 points into the second game, up 1-0. Caliche finds themselves down 6-4, and Rachel Edler will take the serve for the Buffs. Edler lines the ball down the middle, popped up back row by Palzer. Kuntz will set it up and throw it over far side for Patterson. Edler keeps it in play. Lambrecht and ball attack deep by Taylor. Dug up back row by Palzer. Kuntz will set it up for Noble. Her attack deep. Dug up back row by Lambrecht. Underneath it goes Taylor. She'll set up Pierce. Her attack popped up by Schaffert. Patterson will turn, bang it off the block of the net. Diving dig out by Morgan. Kept in play. Lambrecht, no, 2-hit violation on the keep in play. Will make it 7-4. And the serve goes over to Haley Patterson. Patterson lines the ball down the middle, popped up back row by Morgan. Set up by Lambrecht into the hands of Jan. Jan off the net cord, dug out by Patterson. Schaffert somehow angled that one down. Dug out by the Buffs and tipped back over. Tipped back by the Bulldogs onto the Buffs side. Kept up by Edler on the back row. Set up by Lambrecht down the middle for Pierce off the block of the net. Kept up by the Buffs. Pierce will turn over the block this time. Popped up by Kuntz. Noble will set it out for Schaffert off the block at the net and down. And Tanya Schaffert makes this an 8-4 affair in the second. And gives the serve to Haley Patterson. Haley will line it short and in for an ace. The Otis Bulldogs service game, always very consistent, and Patterson showing it here once again. She'll step up. She floats that same short serve and picks up another ace as the front row tried to step back and protect Sammy Morgan. And it's now 10-4 here in the second. Otis looking to tie us at one apiece. Patterson lines the ball down the middle, popped up by Edler, back row, running bumps up by Lambrecht, and a free ball over by Pierce to the back corner. Chased down by Palzer. Underneath it goes Kuntz. Set it up, and the big hammer dropped deep by Patterson. Tip over the net by Pierce. Set up down the middle, and Schaffert will knock it deep. Popped up by Edler, and underneath it will go Lambrecht. Set it up for a swing from Jan. Rejected back by Kelsey Davis. 11-4. And the serve stays with Haley Patterson. Patterson floats it short on the front row for a third ace of the rotation. And Coach Jeanette Lambrecht just turned to the bench and grabbed the first player she could see. It was freshman Jordan Nelson, and threw her onto the floor. Hannah Yawn exits. Patterson with a serve, fielded by Edler, back row, set up by Lambrecht onto the far Otis side, kept up after the Noble swing. Nelson will turn. She'll punch it off the block at the net and down. Jordan Nelson gets the kill to make it 12-5. I don't know if Coach Lambrecht wanted to pull Nelson onto the floor or if she just happened to be the first one, but it was the right move there as Nelson picks up the kill. Kaylee Lewis on, she'll serve. Line it deep. Punch down the line and in by Kelsey Davis to make it 13-5. Davis gives herself the serve. Floated down the middle, popped up back row. by Morgan, set up down the middle for Nelson. She'll push it over, chased down by Kuntz, and a free ball over by Schaffert. Ball checked up on the front row by Pierce. Set up far side for Nelson. Down the line, she'll tip it. Ball popped up back row by Kuntz. Down the near line and in for a kill goes Antanya Schaffert to make it 14-5. Davis continues with the serve. Ball hammered down the middle, dug back on to the Otis side by Nelson. Kept in play. Morgan sets up Nelson, punch deep. Ball dug up back row by Davis, set it up, and down the middle goes Patterson, too big and out. And onto the floor will come Taylor Weingart to serve. Ball line down the right line, popped up by Palzer, set up down the middle for Schaffert. Her attack dug out by Lewis. Bumps that up by Stumpf, and down the line goes Nelson. Since coming in as a replacement for Hannah Yon, Jordan Nelson has picked up 2 kills. Cuts the lead down to 7, 14-7. Weingart lines a serve down the middle, popped up by Kuntz. Free ball over by Palzer. Kaylee Lewis tried to play it up on the front row. You got to let your back row call that there, and the back row has to call it as well. I don't know that Taylor Weingart said mine. Sound like the Seagulls from Finding Nemo. 5-7. Line wide, serve, and back over to the Buffs comes a serve on the service error from the Otis Bulldogs. Hannah Yon will come onto the floor as Jordan Nelson exits. Nice little rotation there, coming in as a substitute. The ball will be lined deep by Patterson, or picked up by Patterson. Set up for Schaffert. She'll hammer it down and in for a kill. Antonia Schaffert making it 16-8. And the line serve will drop in for an ace for the Otis Bulldogs from Antonia Schaffert. Make it 17-8. So Otis tries to tie us at 1 apiece. Schaffert will line it down the middle, popped up by Morgan. Lewis underneath it for Edler. Edler turns and hammers it down and in for a kill. Lead cut back down to 8 as Taylor and Lambrecht will come on. Lambrecht, the freshman, with the serve. Jaden Lambrecht lines it down the middle. Ball popped up back row by Schaffert and knocked deep. Checked up on the backside by Hannah Yon. Set up by Lambrecht down the middle. Should go for Edler. Banged off the block at the net and down. And in for a kill to make it 17-10. You know, Otis has been at state a number of years in a row. Caliche has not made it to state since 2007. They played Otis and eliminated Otis that year. Ended up losing, however, I believe in a California tiebreak as Sammy Morgan got the stuff blocked down. 17-11 serve from Lambrecht again. Set it up for Palzer. Her attack, 2 wide and out. Make it 17-12, and Caliche's within 5 of Otis, and a timeout taken by Bonnie Kuntz for the Otis Bulldogs as she doesn't want to see this one get any closer. Akron defeated Resurrection Christian in 5 over on the black court, so Akron in the driver's seat over there to be the number 1 overall seed. The winner of this match, you would feel, would be the number 1 overall seed as Otis swept Heritage Christian. And Heritage Christian got pushed to 5 by Sterling JV, so you in theory would think that the winner of this one would win their remaining match or matches. Otis has 1 after this. Caliche has 2. That being said, that's just on paper. Paper doesn't matter in volleyball. It's kind of like scissors. Scissors beat paper, rock, paper, scissors. Sorry, I made an interesting jump there. Line serve down the middle from Lambrecht. Popped up back row. Kuntz will set it up for Haley Patterson. Diving dig out back row by Hannah Yon. Set it up for Edler. Edler off the block of the net. Kept in play. Patterson will punch it deep. Kept up by Lambrecht. Tipped over by Taylor. Set up by Kuntz. Back to Patterson. She'll knock it down the line. Diving dig out by Weingart. And then Weingart will get a dive free over and out. And that'll make it 18-12. The serve comes from Palzer. Popped up by Edler. Set it up far side. Taylor bangs it off the block at the net. Jess Taylor coming up with her 3rd kill of the set. And 18-13 here in the second as Megan Pierce comes in on the front row and Sammy Morgan will have the serve for the Buffs. Morgan lines the ball down the middle. Caught the back line for an ace. Ball dropped right on that blue tape that sets up these lines when they turn the court sideways here at the Event Center in Sterling. Buffs within 4, Sammy Morgan. Knocks the ball down the middle. Popped up clean by Mallory Noble. Set up far side. Tipped over the top of the block of the net by Patterson. Bumps that up by Taylor for Edler. Edler trying to lefty tip it. And she got too cute and it rolled off the net cord and a 4-hit violation on the Buffs. 19-14 Otis. 6 away from evening us at 1 apiece. Coons with the serve. Line down the near side, fielded by Jan. Set up for Pierce. Pierce knocks it deep, dug up by Palzer for Otis. Set up far side, Patterson clips the block at the net. Morgan tries to keep it in play, but nobody can get a clean second hit, and the score goes to 20-14 Otis. Kylie Coons floats the serve down the middle, popped up by Hannah Yon backside. Set up down the middle for Jess Taylor off the block. The net ball popped up high by Schaffert. Set it up for Patterson off the block, chased down by Yon. Edler will keep it in play, and Taylor will tip it over the top of the block. Ball popped up by Schaffert, thrown back to Noble on the left post. The dig at the net and under the net when Jaden Lambrecht trying to play that ball, and the score goes to 21-14. Timeout will be taken by the Caliche Buffs as they want to make sure that this one doesn't get out of control on their side. Try and get as much momentum as they possibly can going back their way. For a third set. Young teams on both sides. There are a few seniors, but nobody, even with any major varsity experience. You look at Kelsey Davis. She was a part of the regular rotation last year, but Emily Palzer and Haley Patterson shared the right side, I believe, for Otis. So a lot of youth on both sides, and you'll see ebbs and flows. Serve fielded by Edler down the middle. Taylor will get the attack. Popped up by Schaffert off the block. Davis will turn, punch it deep. Dug up by Edler. Edler will be reset on the far post, and she dumps it down and in for a kill to make it 21-15. Hands herself the serve. Rachel Edler lines it down the middle. Ball popped up by Emily Palzer. Set it up for Haley Patterson. Can't crawl the net cord, and the Buffs crawl within 5, 21-16. Edler lines the ball deep. Popped up back row by Patterson. Set it up for Mallory Noble. Rejected back by Taylor and Pierce, and the Buffs have clawed within 4, 21-17. Rachel Edler will continue with the serve. Edler steps up and lines the ball short. Dug out back row. Kuntz will set it up for Patterson. Her attack dug out by Morgan. Edler will set it up, and Taylor will free the ball deep. Popped up back row by Palzer. Underneath it goes Kuntz. She'll set it up for Patterson. Patterson too big and out. And another Otis hitting error has allowed Caliche to within 3. 21-18. Bonnie Kuntz letting her team figure it out on the floor. Line down the middle by Edler. Ball popped up back row by Palzer. Set it up for Patterson. She'll push it inside. The block at the net kept in play, and the free ball will be tipped off the block by Rachel Edler. Kuntz will set it up far side. Patterson. She hops the net cord into the block of Taylor and Pierce and down. And our final timeout of the set will be taken by Bonnie Kuntz as Caliche has stampeded back within 2, 21-19. The tally. These are two of the better coaches in small school volleyball. No question about it. Jeanette Lambrecht always gets more out of her team than you think there should be on paper. And paper says this team should be pretty good this year. So how scary is that for 1A volleyball? And then for Otis, Bonnie Kuntz always gets Otis to state. Does not matter what they look like on paper coming in, they are going to make it to state. You can pretty well bank on that every single year in 1A volleyball, and the last 4 years they have gotten into that championship game. So out of the timeout, Rachel Edler will have the serve for the Caliche Buffs, down 21-19. Edler will line it down the middle, fielded by Haley Patterson, set up by Kuntz down the middle. Davis blocked at the net by Pierce, kept in play on to the Buff side. Jess Taylor will bump it up, and at the net, the ball tipped back onto the Otis side, chased down by Palzer, and a free ball deep by Patterson. Popped up back row by Sammy Morgan. Lambrecht underneath it. She'll come for Jan. Jan off the block at the net, and the block was in the net, so the Buffs are within one. 21-20. They were down quite a bit in this second game. Edler will line the ball far side, popped up by Mallory Noble, will get the re-swing back, and she hammers it into the net. And without any timeouts left for either team, this will be decided on the court, 21-all. Edler lines the serve down the middle, popped up back row by Haley Patterson. She'll be set for the attack, popped up by Lambrecht back row. Taylor underneath it, sets it to the left post for Jan. Jan's attack dug out by Kuntz, and then Davis will turn and punch it over. Popped up by Lambrecht. Taylor down the middle for Pierce. Pierce off the block at the net, and Kuntz will set it up for Patterson. Patterson trying to rifle it down, and does. Otis doesn't let Caliche take the lead, and they've got a 22-21 advantage. Haley Patterson takes his serve for the Bulldogs. Line down the near side, popped up high by Sammy Morgan. Lambrecht sets it up for Jan. Jan down the line, popped up by Kuntz. Noble will throw the set far side. Shanford, her attack dug up by Sammy Morgan. Lambrecht back to Jan once again. Jan knocks it deep. Dug up by Palzer. Kuntz will set it back over. Lambrecht pops it up for the Caliche Buffs. Taylor gives it off into the hands of Jan. Jan's attack dug out back row by Palzer. Set up for a back row swing by Patterson. Crawls the net cord. Dug up by Edler. Underneath it goes Lambrecht. She'll go for Jan, and it hits the antenna. And Caliche takes a 23-21 lead. Or Otis, pardon me, takes a 23-21 lead. Caliche will field the serve from Haley Patterson. Near the 10-foot line is Sammy Morgan. Lambrecht underneath it for Megan Pierce. Pierce punched it deep, popped up back row by Patterson, and Palzer will return it back. Ball dug out, and that will not be played cleanly on a second, and it's game points at 24-21. Otis, 1 point away from evening us up at one apiece. Serve from Patterson deep, popped up by Edler back row. Lambrecht will set it up into the hands of Jan. Jan crawls the net cord, popped up by Schaffert. Set for Patterson. Patterson angles it deep, dug up by Edler at the net, and down it goes. 25-21, the second set the way of the Otis Bulldogs to even us at one apiece. When we come back, we'll have set 3. This is the 15th annual NJC Spectacular on ColoradoPreps.tv.
These days, there's no free lunch, no free ride, not even any free time. Well, at Bank of Colorado, we're putting an end to all that because our personal free checking and personal free collection serve up a whole lot of free. You'll start with free checking, free online banking, free telebank access, free PIN pay, and more. Then when you add our personal free collection, you'll get a free savings account, free appraisal with your next mortgage, and more. So if you want to bring back the free, apply today to open a new account. Visit bankofcolorado.com and long live free. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The South Platte Sentinel has been serving Sterling and Logan County for more than 25 years, and they're proud to do it with accuracy, efficiency, and the most comprehensive local news, sports, and opinion you'll find anywhere. The South Platte Sentinel is available every Wednesday on your doorstep or online anytime at southplattesentinel.com. You can also check out the latest news and updates anytime on Facebook. Just visit the South Platte Sentinel Facebook page. The South Platte Sentinel, a proud supporter of Logan County.
Superior Fertilizer and Construction are proud supporters of the Caliche Buffs. They carry Hubbard feeds for all of your livestock needs. They are also a full-service ag dealer with dry and liquid fertilizer, anhydrous and Chemical Plus alfalfa and grass seeds. If you need a new pole building, give them a call. Same name, same location for 40 years. Give Superior Fertilizer and Construction a call today, 886-2161.
Get your DVD copies of the events you're seeing live online at BigTimeSmallTown.com. Hi, I'm Ben Blecka, owner, founder, and one of the talents of Big Time Small Town Media. Very glad you're enjoying the broadcast we're bringing to you live online. But don't forget you can have this broadcast whenever and wherever you want with a purchase of the DVD from Big Time Small Town Media. Go to www.BigTimeSmallTown.com. There you can check out all of the games that we've got from any past tournaments. We've been doing this for just more than a year, and Big Time Small Town Media is proud to be more than sports. We're community. Tied at a game apiece as we head to the third here in our third match of the day. Gold Pool at the 15th Annual NJC Spectacular on ColoradoPreps.tv. I'm Ben Blecka with the Big Time Small Town Media. Very glad you've joined us for all the action today. 16 total matches between the 8 teams that are at this tournament. Everybody guaranteed 4, so a lot of volleyball action for you to take in today's games. The Otis Bulldogs taking that second 25-21. And we head to the third. Caliche with the serve in the hands of Hannah Yon to kick things off. In a pivotal game in this match. Yon, the southpaw, lines the serve deep, fielded by Schaffert, popped up by Kuntz, and Patterson's attack deep will be dug up by Yon. Set up down the middle for Sammy Morgan, over the top of the block, popped up by Schaffert, Kuntz underneath it, set it up into the hands of Patterson, over the top of the block, and down it goes. And the Otis Bulldogs take the opening point of the third, just like they did in the first and second. Serve into the net from Emily Paulser, evens us at 1 apiece. That'll give the serve to Jaden Lambrecht for the bus. Jaden lines it off the net cord, popped up by Patterson. Kuntz will give it off to Patterson, far side. She crawls the net cord. Lambrecht keeps it in play, and the free ball back over by Caliche, and blocked down by Kylie Kuntz to make it 2-1 Bulldogs. Kylie Kuntz will take the serve. She'll come, toss it out into the Buff side of the court, and Rachel Edler with a swing, hammers it into the net, and Otis takes a 3-1 advantage. Kuntz lines the ball down the middle, popped up high, back row by Lambrecht, and the attack by Taylor down the line. Dug up by Paulser, kept free, and the free ball be played deep by Patterson. Ball dug up back row by Yon. Shoot set far side from Lambrecht to Edler, and the Buffs take the kill early on here in the third. Sammy Morgan, he'll step up and line the serve down the middle. Popped up back row by Mallory Noble. The attack by Patterson blocked, then freed to the back corner, and she'll pick up the kill on the free ball. 4-2 advantage for the defending 1A state champs, and they played in the last 4 state championship matchups, all against Fleming. State champs in 2002, 2009, and 2011 for the Otis Bulldogs, all in this 21st century, as the tip free over by Caliche, and Mallory Noble trying to free it up, and Rachel Edler keeps it in play, gets reset back for her attack, dug out by Patterson back row. Kuntz to Patterson back row swing. Her attack dug up by Morgan, tipped down by Taylor, and just Taylor will pick the tip kill up and make this a 4-3 affair in the third. Edler steps up. She'll line it down the middle. Popped up, and a rotation violation on the Otis side will square us up at 4. Otis then calls for a lineup check as they don't want to get tagged for back-to-back rotation violations. Edler will line the ball deep. Popped up back row by Haley Patterson for Otis. Davis will tip it down. Diving dig out by Taylor, and a free ball be played up by Edler. Checked up by Palzer. Back row. Kuntz comes to the right post for Shafford off the block of the net. Tipped back down by Davis. Ball kept in play. Lambrecht sets it up for Taylor. She hammers it down and in for a kill. Caliche utilizing some great defense to spark their offense here in the early stages of the third, tied at 1 apiece. Edler steps up and lines the ball deep, 2 deep and out, and we're tied at 5 on that service error. Serve comes into the hands of Kelsey Davis. Davis lines the ball deep. It'll be popped up back row by Taylor. Set it up for Megan Pierce. Her attack is dug out and then free back over by Palzer. Popped up by Morgan. Lambrecht will go far side into the hands of Jan. Her attack dug out by Patterson. Set up for Noble. Noble will knock the ball deep. Popped up back row by Lambrecht. Taylor and then into the hands of Jan, who crawls the net cord on an excuse-me tip. Gets a kill. Jeanette Lambrecht does not look amused. Taylor and Lambrecht will exit. Lewis and Stumpf on for Caliche. Kaylee Lewis lines the ball down the middle. Miss-popped by Schaffer. Kept up nicely by Noble, and Patterson will free it deep. Lewis keeps it in play. Stumpf will set it up down the middle for Megan Pierce. Her attack is down and in for a kill. So the Caliche Buffs take a 7-5 advantage here in the third. And the line ball will be popped up by Haley Patterson. Set up for Palzer, clips the block at the net, and it drops. Emily Palzer getting a nice swing right there and cutting back the Caliche lead to 1. Line serve into the net by the Otis Bulldogs, make it 8-6. And hand the serve over to Taylor Weingart. Weingart dug out back row by Patterson. Set it up for Shafford off the block of the net. Popped up by Edler. Lewis will set it up for Jan. Tipped inside the block. Popped up by Shafford. Set down the middle for Palzer. Her attack deep. Dug up back row by Edler. Lewis will set it up into the hands of Jan off the block at the net. And in the net on her follow-through she went. The ball dropped off the block as well. So either way, it was an Otis Bulldog point and makes it an 8-7 lead for Caliche. Serve goes into the hands of Antonia Shafford. Her attack popped up back row by Hannah Jan. Set it up for Sammy Morgan. Her attack dug up back row by the Otis Bulldogs. Patterson with a big attack deep. Dug up by Weingart at the net. The ball tipped up and freed over by Shani Stumpf. Diving dig out by Mallory Noble. Set it up in the attack deep by Patterson. Popped up by Edler. Lewis will set it up for Jan. Jan pushes it over the top of the block. Shiloh Kirby digs it out. Patterson will turn, and a 2-hit violation on the Patterson attempted set, or the Palzer attempted set, pardon me. 9-7 Buffs. Jan rifles the ball down the middle. It'll be popped up back row by Noble. The big attack by Patterson off the block of the net. Ball kept in play, and then a free ball knocked deep. Dug up back row by Weingart, and the back row swing from Jan. Popped up by Schaffer. Kuntz will set it up for Patterson. Kept up high in the air by Edler. Lewis will set it back up for Edler far side. She'll knock it down the line, and she was in the net on her follow-through. Otherwise, that ball would have dropped down and in for a kill. And the Otis Bulldogs find themselves down 1 at 9-8. Serve to Emily Palzer. She'll knock it down the middle. Popped up by Sammy Morgan. And a lift ball by Kaylee Lewis on the set. Deadlocks us at 9. Deadlocked at a game apiece as well. Palzer down the right line, picks up an ace, and the Otis Bulldogs have run off 3 straight. 10-9, their advantage now. Winner likely plays Akron in their final match of the day. Loser likely gets Resurrection Christian. The way on paper this one's been going. The line serve in for an ace once again from Emily Palzer, and the Otis Bulldogs have now run off 4 straight. Go back at Sammy Morgan, far side. She plays it cleanly this time. Lewis throws it up high for Edler over the top of the block of the net. Diving dig out by Schaffert and Palzer. Patterson with a big swing down and in for a kill. It'll make it 12-9. Caliche thought their head coach was going to call a timeout. She has yet to. Lines are deep. It'll be popped up back row by Hannah Yon. Set up for Shani Stump. She'll hop the net court. Ball popped up by Schaffert. Set it back up for Patterson over the top of the block of the net. Lewis keeps it in play. Stump tips it over. Popped up high by Kuntz. And then the block at the net by Sammy Morgan in front of Kelsey Davis ends the run. Otis with the 12-10 advantage. Jaden Lambrecht and Jess Taylor on for the Caliche Buffs. Lambrecht hammers the ball deep. Ball be popped up back row by Schaffert. Set it up, and the big swing down and in for a kill for Haley Patterson. She may be the most impressive player we've seen today in the gold pool here at the 15th annual NJC Spectacular. Especially if you watched her last year, she was good. She has grown immensely as a volleyball player. Line serve by Kylie Coons. Popped up back row by Edler. One-handed setup by Lambrecht, and the free ball deep by Yon. Ball popped up back row Coons to Davis. Davis's attack. Dug up back row by Lambrecht. Taylor tips it over. Popped up by Schaffert. Coons will set it up to the post for Patterson. Tip down the line. Ball popped up high by Lambrecht. Set up by Taylor. Far side for Edler. And Edler can't get the hit over, and it's 14-10 Bulldogs. Good rallies, just have not gone Caliche's way. Coons lines the ball down the middle. Popped up back row by Lambrecht, or by Weingart, pardon me. Lambrecht with the set and the attack deep. Dug out by Palzer. Patterson banged off the block at the net. Blocked down by Kelsey Davis off of the hop high. And it's 15-10, and a timeout going to be taken by the Caliche Buffs as they want to discuss this as they find themselves down 5. These two teams, it's the only time they meet up during the year. They used to, I believe, meet up for a regular season meeting outside of this tournament, but this is one of those matchups that is kind of a treat for us to be able to cover as Northeast Colorado fans and broadcasters, as they're just athletically two of the better programs, along with Fleming here in the region. Out of the timeout, the Caliche Buffs get tagged with a rotation violation. So it's now 16-10 Bulldogs. And the serve stays with Kylie Kuntz. Kuntz lines it far side, popped up high by Edler. Lambrecht will throw it up into the hands of Sammy Morgan, who bangs the block at the net. Make it 16-11. Serve wide, too wide now from Sammy Morgan. You cannot negate an opportunity like that with a service error where you get a nice attack and then immediately kill it by not being able to make your serve. Patterson will line the ball down the middle. Popped up by Edler. Lambrecht will set it up far side. Megan Pierce. Her attack popped up back row by Palzer. Set it up for Schaffert. Schaffert crawls the net cord and out on the hitting error. Door opens once again for Caliche. Rachel Edler will take the serve. Edler lines the ball off the net cord, and it drops to make it 17-13. Good hustle by Otis just to keep going after that ball till they heard the whistle. Ball line short, popped up back row, set up far side for the big attack from Shafford off the block of the net. Davis will turn, tip it, and caught the line. Dropped it right down the line, took it away from her own setter right there, but had the great angle to make that play and make this 18-13 Otis. They're trying to go up 2-1. Line down the middle, popped up back row by Edler. Linebrecht will throw it back far side for Jan. She'll hammer it down deep. Dug up back row by Davis. Right back into the block of Megan Pierce. And Caliche will take the serve back. Down by 4. Lewis and Stump on. Lewis will do the serving. Kaylee lines it down the near side, popped up by Palzer, set down the middle for Shafford. She'll push it over, kept up high by Stump. Lewis underneath it, she'll set it up into the hands of Pierce. Pierce's attack popped up by Patterson, set onto the near side, the big attack deep from Noble. Lewis will throw it up far side into the hands of Jan. She'll hammer it down the line, dig up, and the big attack back down and in for a kill by Shafford for the Otis Bulldogs. Heck of a response by this Otis team after losing that opening set. Not just losing it, they lost 25-15. And one they should have lost about 25-10. Line serve down the middle, ball be popped up back row. Set up and the attack knocked into the net by the Caliche Buffs. It'll make it 20-14. Noble with the serve for the Bulldogs. Popped up back row by Edler. Lewis will throw it out into the right post for Shaney Stump for attack. Dug up back row. Set back up in the big attack by Shafford. Dug up on the front row by Jan. Jan will get the swing. Hops the net cord. Popped up by Shiloh Kirby. Tipped over by Coons. Dug out by Lewis. And then set back for Jan. She'll poke the net off the block. Lewis will reset for Jan. Jan will turn and hammer it into the net. 21-14. Otis up by 7. Noble will serve again. Noble lines the ball down the middle. Ball popped up, but not cleanly an ace. 22-14. The Otis Bulldogs running away with this third. And Noble lines it down the middle. Popped up by Morgan back row. Lewis. And then Jan will free it over in deep. Popped up by Noble. Kirby. And Coons keep it in play, and then Patterson knocks it deep. Set up the attack by Jan off the block at the net and down. Good swing by Hannah Jan there. (22-15), and the serve over to Taylor Weingart for the Caliche Buffs. Weingart lines the ball deep. Popped up back row by the Otis Bulldogs, and Antonia Shafford off the net cord. It'll be dug up by Stump, and then free back over by Sammy Morgan. Tipped over by Pollard, kept in play by Stump. Lewis underneath it, and then Sammy Morgan will turn. She'll rifle it down and in for a kill. Caliche keeping pushing. Even if they don't win this third set, going to give themselves all sorts of momentum. Weingart flies the serve deep, too deep and out, 23-16. And Otis went from having 3 subs on their bench, 9 total players. They're back down to the 7 as their JV's set to play. The ball angled wide and out by Caliche to make it 24-16. As Burgess and one of the other players will exit. 24-16. Otis 1 away from taking the set. Shoot set far side for Sammy Morgan. She'll hammer it down and in for a kill. Make it 24-17. Still game point. And no, they overturned it. It'll be 25-16 in favor of Otis. Somebody was in the net. So 25-16, the third goes to Otis. They're up 2-1 when we come back on ColoradoPreps.tv.
Ice and Oil has been supporting our community for over 65 years and is the leading supplier in propane, Sinclair diesel and gas, Chevron oils, greases, and lubricants, and a variety of tires and Delco batteries. Located on Highway 34 in Otis and Plattner, Ice and Oil is your #1 source for diesel, oil, gas, and propane needs. For all those road trip adventures through Northeast Colorado, they offer 24-hour pay-at-the-pump gas and diesel services. Ice and Oil, American product, American quality, affordable prices.
Northeastern Junior College Athletics would like to invite you to support NJC Athletics by becoming a member of the Plainsman Athletic Group. The Plainsman Athletic Group has levels of memberships for both businesses and individuals. For more information on how you can become a member of the Plainsman Athletic Group, call 970-521-6618. All support of the Plainsman Athletic Group goes directly to athlete scholarships, ensuring that Northeastern Junior College athletes get the best education possible. Call now, 970-521-6618, and become a member of the Plainsman Athletic Group.
Everybody knows that when a great opportunity like an iPhone presents itself, you grab it. Somebody says they've got tickets to the big game and can't go, you grab the tickets. Somebody tells you that you can get an iPhone at a special price, you grab it. And it's true. For a limited time, Viero has iPhones for only $79.99. And we'll even pay your early termination fees up to $200 when you switch to Viero. All that and coverage you can count on. So hurry into Viero today. Your iPhone is here. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
Northeastern Junior College is the state's 2-year premier institution. With more than 35% growth over the last 5 years, Northeastern Junior College is not only expanding the number of students it serves, but expanding in the programs it provides. Whether it's finding the latest technology to improve programs already in existence, or finding new programs that will serve the needs of the future, Northeastern Junior College is Colorado's leader. Get more information at njc.edu. Now's the time to begin thinking about your future with Northeastern Junior College. Visit njc.edu.
Come back for the fourth here at the Bank of Colorado Event Center. 2-1, the Otis Bulldogs on top of the Caliche Buffs after Caliche dominated the first set 25-15. Otis has responded well, 25-21 and 25-16. The Caliche Buffs will move back to the near court on your video screen on ColoradoPreps.tv, and Otis will have the serve in the far. Schaffert will be doing that serving. Schaffert winds it near side, fielded by Kaylee Lewis. Underneath it will go Lambrecht, set it up for Edler. Edler will push it deep. Ball popped up back row by Schaffert, set it up for Patterson. Her attack deep, dug up back row by Weingart, set to the near post for Edler, and in the net went Rachel Edler. And Otis, for the fourth game in this match, takes the opening point. Schaffert winds the serve deep and picks up an ace on a lift ball. No, they do not call that a lift ball. The whistle was from the other court. Set up for Patterson. Her attack deep. Ball dug up back row by Weingart. Kept in play and then freed deep by Leon. Shoot set for a Mallory Noble attack from the back row. Dug up back row by Kaylee Lewis. Underneath it goes Lambrecht. The attack hammered by Edler into the block at the net, and we're deadlocked at 1 apiece. Taylor will come on to the floor for the Caliche Buffs. Jaden Lambrecht will have the serve. Jaden will line it deep. Ball misplayed back row by Schaffert. Chased down and a free ball. Be knocked under the net by Palzer. And Caliche takes a 2-1 advantage. Lambrecht with the serve once again. She'll rifle it deep. Palzer pops it up. Kuntz will set it up for a back row swing from Schaffert over the top of the block. Dug out by Weingart. Lambrecht underneath it, and the tip over the top of the block of the net by Morgan. Kuntz keeps it in play. Back row swing by Noble, knocked deep, and too deep and out. Caliche takes a 3-1 advantage, much similar to the way the opening game of this match started. Line serve deep. Ball be popped up back row by the Otis Bulldogs, and the attack from Patterson is blocked back by Taylor, and down for a stuff block, 4-1 Buffs. Line ball deep will be popped up by Palzer back row. Shoot set far side. The attack off the block at the net by Patterson. Kept in play. Patterson will knock it deep again. Lambrecht trying to tip it over. Ends up in the net. So that ends the 4-0 run for the Caliche Buffs. Down 4-2 and 2-1. Emily Palzer will serve for Otis, and, well, she's giving Caliche all the momentum. It's that service game that's starting to fault Otis. I know they were a bunch of seniors last year, but I saw a lot of their matches last year, and I don't think I've seen as many service errors from that team all of last year as we've seen in the 1+ almost 2 matches that we've covered today. Lambrecht will set it up for Edler. Edler's attack kept in play and freed over in deep by Schaffert. Ball popped up back row by Morgan. Set it up, and the big attack by Pierce off the block. Schaffert digs it out. Set up by Coons for Patterson. Banged off the block at the net and down and in for a kill. That being said, very young Otis team. You expect some service errors. Same for Caliche, although Caliche last Saturday when we covered them against Weldon Valley, they served very well and have served pretty darn well here again today. Jan will field the serve from Otis out of the back line. Popped up far side for Pierce. Blocked at the net. Ball chased down by Morgan and a free ball over by Jan. Ball popped up back row by Palzer for Otis. Patterson with the attack. Jan will get the back row swing, and into the net it goes and down. A hitting error will make it 5-4, and Otis a chance to tie to 5. Line serve will be angled. Dug out back row by Jan. Throw up set into the hands of Edler, and Edler hammers it into the net. The hitting error ties it at 5. And here comes the freshman Jordan Nelson once again. She'll replace Rachel Edler this time. Nelson came on, got 2 kills and 3 rotations in the opening game for Caliche. Or the second. It was the second she got those. Set up into the hands of Pierce. Pierce will knock it deep. Popped up by Palzer back row. Patterson with a swing from the right post. Bangs it off the block. And Otis has gone on a 4-0 run of their own. Now up 6-5. Line serve coming near side. Popped up by Jan. Set it up into the hands of Megan Pierce. Tries to go down the line. Nobody there. And she misses the blue line for a hitting error to make it 7-5 Otis. Serve from Kylie Coons deep. Ball be popped up from the backside. Set up by Lambrecht into the hands of Nelson. She'll knock it deep. Ball dug up back row. Free ball by Schaffert over the top of the block at the net. Ball kept in play by Taylor, and then Pierce will free it deep to the back corner. Popped up backside by Palzer. Set up for Noble. Mallory Noble off the block. Popped up by Jan. Lambrecht will set it up back far side into the hands of Nelson. Nelson's attack deep, dug up, and then Patterson will turn and punch it deep. Dug up back row by Jan. Set up down the middle into the hands of Pierce. Pierce's attack popped up back row by Palzer. Set it up into the hands of Patterson. Her attack deep, dug up backside. Lambrecht trying to set it up, got tangled up with Megan Pierce and ended up under the net, and it's 8-5. The timeout going to be taken by Jeanette Lambrecht for the Caliche Buffs as she wants to talk things over. Not much of a conversation piece here. It's just more of a settle down. Otis playing pretty darn good volleyball right now. They can find a way to come up with the victory here. They can, I wouldn't say sure, but I would say 90% certain that they would get the matchup with Akron for first place in this tournament. Kylie Kuntz lines the serve deep. Caught the back line, or caught one of the players on the back line. And an ace is the result. Rachel Edler will come back in for Nelson. And Kuntz will serve once again. Kuntz will line it deep, popped up back row by Jan. Underneath it goes Lambrecht, and a free ball will be played deep by Sammy Morgan. Chased down by Schaffert, set it up onto the far side. Mallory Noble down the line she goes. Too wide and out. And I believe Caliche has to burn their second time out here because their libero came up to come onto the floor, and she was not in a position to come in, so that improper substitution empties, pardon me, not Otis. Let's get the scoreboard right here. Empties Caliche's clip of timeouts. There we go. At 9-6, so they're going to have to do this the rest of the way without the ability to stem the tide, barring a substitution. Down 2-1. Line serve deep will be popped up by Patterson. Set over the net by Kylie Kuntz. Kept free. Taylor will bump it up down the middle into the hands of Pierce. Pierce keeps it in play. Lambrecht bumps that up, and a free ball will be played deep by Edler. Dug up back row by Palzer. Kuntz will set it up far side. Patterson, she'll angle it in. Popped up by Edler. Lambrecht will throw it up far side. The left-handed attack from Hannah Young goes down and in for a kill and cuts the lead down to 2. So 9-7. The serve, line deep. And lift ball ace is the result. Chance to tie it at 9 here. Line serve down the middle. Ball popped up back row. Set it up for Patterson. She crawls the net court. Kept up by Taylor. Underneath it goes Lambrecht, and Jan will knock it off the block the net. Kept up by Edler. Popped up high by Lambrecht. She'll come near side Taylor, and Taylor set into the net. The tie will not be got there on the net violation. And the serve back over to Otis. Up 2-1. Floater serve short, popped up by Sammy Morgan. Set it up for Jan. Jan, the southpaw, angles it deep. Dug out by Patterson. Set it up into the hands of Schaffert. Diving dig out by Jaden Lambrecht, and a back row swing from Sammy Morgan. Dug up by the Otis Bulldogs. Set it up for Patterson. Her angled down and in for a kill. Haley Patterson grows that lead back out to 3. Patterson gives herself the serve again. Line down the middle, popped up by Edler. Set up by Lambrecht to Jan. Jan knocks it deep, dug up by Patterson. Kuntz will set it up onto the far side, Schaffert. Schaffert in the net on her follow-through. Otherwise, that would have gone off the block and for a kill. Shani Stump and Kaylee Lewis on. Kaylee will serve for the Caliche Buffs. Lewis is served deep, popped up back row by Palzer. Kuntz will set it up for Davis. Davis will tip it to the right or the left-hand line and grow that lead back out to 3, 12-9. Line serve down the near side, fielded by Jan. Set it up for Pierce. Pierce clipping the block of the net, popped up by Patterson. Kuntz will set it up for Schaffert. Schaffert off the block, dug up by Lewis. Stump will set it up into the hands of Jan. Jan's attack deep, dug up by Davis. Set it up for Palzer, and then free back over by Patterson off the block. Lewis will set it up into the hands of Jan. Diving dig out by Otis. Blocked back down by Caliche. Tip back over by Palzer. Kept in play. Lewis throws it up onto the near side. Into the hands of Stump. Stump's attack popped up by Kuntz. Kuntz to Noble. It crawls the net cordon down. 13-9. Kelsey Davis with the serve. Davis Angling it down, popped up by Edler. Lewis to Jan. Jan mishit the ball, dug up back row by Davis. Patterson with the attack deep, popped up by Edler. Chased down by Lewis, and then a back row swing into the net from Sammy Morgan. It goes to 14-9. Taylor Weingart's going to come back on here. The ball set up for Shaney Stump. Stump off the block at the net and down for a kill. Gives the Buffs double digits in points. And the serve from the Buffs. Line down the middle, popped up by Schaffert, set over the net, kept up by Caliche and tipped back over by Morgan. Set up by Kuntz, down the middle for Palzer. Palzer's attack dug up back row by Edler. Set it up and a free ball be played deep by Kaylee Lewis. Checked up backside. Kuntz will set it up for Schaffert. Angled wide on the line and missed the left-hand line. And the Caliche Buffs see that lead dwindle or cut that lead down to 3. The official is overruling the end judge. That's the protest that's going on here. Bonnie Kuntz stepped up and said the line judge, which is a student here at NJC, should be right. And the head official says, no, I'm the head official. I'm right. Line down the middle after Otis receives a serve. Big attack down the line from Hannah Yon and cuts the lead down to 2. (14-12). Buff serve. Line deep, popped up by Palzer. Palzer with the swing, knocked off the block at the net, down and in for a kill. Otis Bulldogs 10 points away from coming from behind after losing their first game of the year. The ball knocked down the middle by Mallory Noble. Set it up, and the big swing by Sammy Morgan banged in off the block and in front of the back line to cut the lead back down to 2. 15-13. Ball knocked down the middle, popped up by Patterson, set it up, and the attack from Palzer off the net cord, dug up back row by the Buffs. Lewis will throw it in the air, and a back row swing will come from Edler. Her attack popped up by Patterson. She'll take a back row swing, line down the middle. Let go by the Caliche Buffs. And it was long, make it 15-14. Buffs serve down the middle. Popped up by the Otis Bulldogs. Patterson will try another back row swing, this time short enough. Dug up by Lewis on the back row, tipped over the net by Shaney Stump. Set it up far side. The attack down the middle. Popped up back row. Lewis will throw it up, and at the net, Sammy Morgan punches it down. But they say in the net was one of the Buff players on the dig or set. It's probably Kaylee Lewis. She looked like she got a little close there. The serve goes to Antonia Schaffert for the Otis Bulldogs. Antonia floats it short. Ball popped up back row by Stump. Lewis will set it up into the hands of Rachel Edler. Nicely dug out. Set up by Kuntz. Far side. Patterson. Big swing down and in for a kill. Ball floated down the middle, popped up back row by Jan for the Caliche Buffs. Set it up for Sammy Morgan, blocked, and a lift ball, no lift ball called. Free back over by Caliche. Set it up for Patterson. Patterson tips it over the block of the net, popped up by Edler. Set to Edler on the left post. Her attack deep, 2 deep and out. Otis takes an 18-14 advantage here in game 4. Caliche out of timeouts thanks to a substitution error early in this game. Line down the middle, popped up by Weingart back row, set it up for Edler. Edler off the block at the net and down and in for a kill. Jaden Lambrecht and Jess Taylor will come back in for the Caliche Buffs. And the freshman, Jaden Lambrecht, will have the serve. Lambrecht lines it down the middle. Ball popped up by Shiloh Kirby. Set up for Emily Palzer. Too big and out, and the Buffs are back within 2. Rifle serve down the middle, fielded by Palzer. Set it up for Patterson. Off the block and down. Stuff block back by Jess Taylor. Cuts the lead down to 1. Exciting game 4. Exciting match all the way around here. Serve will be lined down the middle. Miss Doug. How about an ace? Deadlock now at 18 and a timeout for Otis as they want to talk things over. Caliche Buffs are not going to go down without a fight. No timeouts. Down by 6, and they've still found a way to keep pushing back and get this one tied at 18. That being said, you've got to close this out effectively. If you do not close this out effectively, you will find yourself on the losing end of this and set to face Heritage Christian coming up next if you're Caliche. $18-all. Buffs with the serve out of the timeout. Line down the middle, popped up back row by Patterson. Set up for Palzer. It crawls the net and then drops back on the Otis side, and Caliche's taking the lead at 19-18. Line serve down the middle, popped up back row by Schaffert. Set it up for Patterson. Patterson trying to hop the net cord, and players collide and end up on the floor, and Otis gives up another point. This is now a 7-0 Buff run, and they're up 20-18. Flat serve down the middle, popped up by Schaffert. Bumps that up by Kuntz, and the line shot down and in for a kill by Haley Patterson. Gets Otis back within 1, trying to avoid that decisive 5th set for a second match in a row here on the gold court. Emily Palzer with the serve, fielded by the Buffs. Down the line goes Taylor, too wide and out, and we're deadlocked at 20. Every point very pivotal now in this match. Palzer with the serve, line down the middle, popped up back row by Edler, bumps that up, and the big attack by Sammy Morgan, dug out by Mallory Noble back row, set it up and then rifled down the line by Patterson, dug out by Weingart back row, and a free ball over by Edler. Popped up back row by Noble. Underneath it goes Kuntz. She'll set it up far side. Patterson off the block. Punch back over by Davis. Chased down by Weingart. Lambrecht gets it out, and then Weingart will turn and flat it over in deep. Popped up back row by Palzer. Set down the middle for Kelsey Davis, and Otis, after giving up a 7-0 run, has now run 3 of that back and taken the lead at 21-20. Emily Palzer with the serve. She'll rifle it down the left line. Popped up by Edler. Set it up into the hands of Taylor. Taylor knocks it deep. Tucked up back row by Palzer, and a swing and a miss by Kelsey Davis that was right there. It was like it was a changeup. She swung at a fastball and couldn't get it there. 21-all. Serve back to the Buffs. Buffs line it down the middle. Popped up back row by Noble. Set it up, and the attack from Patterson off the block of the net. Popped up by Edler. Edler will tip it down the line and caught the line in for the kill. And the Buffs take a 22-21 lead here in the 4th, trying to force that decisive 5th. Serve from Weingart. Or pardon me, not Weingart. Serve from Morgan. Dug out back row by the Otis Bulldogs. They'll free it deep. Popped up by Edler on the backside. Lambrecht will set it down the middle for Taylor. And the big attack knocked back deep. Ball popped up back row, set far post into the hands of Edler, and in the net, or in the antenna, went the attack. And it's 22-22. Otis Bulldogs take the serve. In the hands of Kylie Kuntz. Kuntz lines the ball deep, popped up back row by Young. Set up for Megan Pierce. Pierce blocked. It's wide and out. Good tool of the block, and Caliche takes a 23-22 lead. Ball line down the middle, popped up back row by Haley Patterson. Patterson will be set up. She angled it nicely and caught the line to deadlock us at 23. Somebody's going to have a game point after this right here, possibly a match point if Otis can take the point. Haley Patterson with the serve. She'll line it down the middle, popped up back row by Edler. Underneath it goes Lambrecht. She'll set it up for a big swing for Hannah Yawn, and Yawn gives Caliche a game point to send us to a decisive fifth set. Lewis and Stump on, and a second timeout taken by the Otis Bulldogs as they're trying to find a way to take this one and force it to extras and win it in 4. They're already through their 4th match over on the Blackpool. And we're still on our 3rd here on the Gold. And as I've said earlier on our broadcast, based on the way the schedule is put together where teams are playing back-to-back throughout the day, there's absolutely no way that you can speed this up by spreading a match to another court. You know, at state volleyball, they never play truly back-to-back. And so if you've got a court that's way ahead and a court that's behind, they can split matches 7 and 8 of the day to another court. You can't do that here in this Spectacular because of the way the schedule's set up. So we're here for the duration. Morgan with the serve out of the timeout. Ball popped up, set it up for Davis. She'll tip it down the line. Tammy Morgan digs it out. Lewis sets it up into the hands of Yawn. Yawn deep. Popped up back row by Patterson. Underneath it goes Palzer. Patterson will rifle it deep. Ball dug up back row by Edler. Set it up in the attack deep and in for a kill. And we're going to a decisive fifth set on the Shaney Stump kill as Caliche takes the 4th set 25-23. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have that decisive 5th set. Second match in a row here on ColoradoPreps.tv.
Big Tex, a name you can trust to build great trailers. Big Tex, the name behind quality, precise design, and depth of production line. Big Tex, where style does not get lost in the rugged construction of products. Big Tex, made to last, made to perform. Big Tex, with years of experience and Texas pride built into every product. When your Big Tex touches the ground, it's tested and warranted, ready to transport the job you have. Get your Big Tex trailer at Sterling Trailers. Call 522-2855.
Kellogg Ewing Levitt Insurance Group is your first and only stop for all of your insurance needs, including health, home, auto, farm and ranch. Kellogg Ewing Levitt can also provide you with professional and general liability bonds. Kellogg Ewing Levitt, going the extra mile for their clients, and they can do the same thing for you. Call Kellogg Ewing Levitt today to receive a no-obligation quote on your insurance needs. 522-4840. That's 522-4840. Kellogg Ewing Levitt, with offices located at 119 North 3rd Street here in Sterling.
Cito has been a staple in eastern Colorado since 1971. Since 1977, Cito has been your place to go for trusses, wall panels, and buildings. With state-of-the-art equipment allowing Cito to stay on top of the truss industry, Cito wants you to know that while the economy has affected everybody, it's allowed them to provide some different services while being able to maintain their spot as one of the top truss manufacturers in Colorado. Contact Cito Building Components out of Otis at 800-925-3207. That's Cito, proud to support Eastern Colorado. You're looking for a used car, but you don't really trust those used car dealers. At Ertl Brothers Discount Auto in Sterling, trust is not an issue. At Ertl Brothers Discount Auto, every vehicle is fully inspected before it goes out on the lot, so you don't have to worry about buying that lemon. For your convenience of shopping, Ertl Brothers Discount Auto is available online anytime at ebautos.com. They understand that not everyone works 9 to 5, so they'll even set up private appointments to work with your schedule. Visit Ertl Brothers Discount Auto, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30, Saturday, 9 to 4.
We come back for game number 5 for the second match in a row here at the 15th Annual NJC Spectacular Gold Pool. Our third match, Otis and Caliche tied at 2 apiece after Caliche wins the 425-23. Otis will start with a serve. They stay in the far court. for this fifth, and Antonia Schaffert will have the serve. Otis has won the first point of every game in this match. As Schaffert lines the ball near side, it'll be popped up by Jan back row, set it up, and Sammy Morgan bangs it off the block and down and in for a kill, and Caliche takes that opening point. The defending state champs are in the far court, although not many players return from last year. Noble fields the ball back row, set up for Palzer off the block of Morgan at the net, and then Kuntz trying to turn it over and drop it, and she hammers it into the net. Line ball down the middle, popped up back row. Set it up into the hands of Patterson. Banged off the block. Lambrecht keeps it in play. Miss hits at Weingart, and then a free ball over by Edler. Popped up back row by Patterson. Patterson will set it up on the right post. Her attack blocked at the net, and it gets back onto the Caliche side off a diving dig from Palzer. Free ball played over by the Caliche Buffs. Turn attack back, and Sammy Morgan stuffs down Antonia Schaffrit's attack to make it 3-zip Buffs. Ball line down the middle, popped up by the Otis Bulldogs. Set it up, and the big attack from Patterson gives the Otis Bulldogs their first point here in the fifth. And hands the serve over to Emily Palzer. Finds her down the near side, fielded by Edler, set up by Lambrecht. She'll go for Sammy Morgan. Over the top of the block, popped up by Schaffert, set it up for Patterson. Through the block, popped up backside by Jan. Set it up for Edler, and Edler hammers it into the block, and in the net on the set was Lambrecht. So the lead cut down to 3-2. Paul's Earls take and hammer the ball down the middle. Popped up back row by Edler. Lambrecht sets it up for Taylor off the top of the block at the net. Kept up by Patterson. She'll go down the line. Dug up by Weingart back row. Set it up down the middle. Does Lambrecht for Sammy Morgan. Hot diggity. Bangs that one down and in. She went for that back corner and took every bit of spin she had to put that down. Buffs with the serve, line down the middle, popped up back row by Mallory Noble. Set it up far side, Haley Patterson angled it back across the court and could not get it to drop, and the Buffs take a 5-2 advantage. Line serve down the middle, popped up back row by Mallory Noble. Set it up in a free ball, angled deep by Patterson, chased down by Jan. Lambrecht underneath it for Edler, and she hits the antenna. And it's 5-3 Caliche here in the fifth. They took the first relatively convincingly, and it's been quite a bit of Otis since then. Ball punch over the top of the block of the net by Taylor. Set it up by Patterson, hammered down deep. Ball dug out back row, set up by Lambrecht to Edler. She'll knock it deep, dug up back row by Kuntz. Set it up, and the big swing down and wide by Patterson makes it 6-3 Buffs on top of the Bulldogs. Ball line down the middle, popped up back row by Emily Palzer, set for Kelsey Davis. Kelsey Davis knocks it down, chased down by Jan, and a free ball by Lambrecht will get back onto the Otis side. Ball chased up by Patterson. The attack by Mallory Noble will drop down and in for a kill. Make this 6-4 in favor of Caliche. Serve back over to the Otis Bulldogs. Haley Patterson with the serve. Patterson wide on her serve and out. Make it 7-4. Kaylee Lewis on the serve. Lewis lines it down the line, popped up by Schaffert. Kuhn sets it up for Davis. Rifle deep, dug up back row by Lewis. Stumpf set it up into the hands of Jan, and the rejection back by the Otis defense. The good block that Otis has displayed quite a bit of today. Gives them another point, gets them back within 2, 7-5 here in the fifth. Kelsey Davis with the serve. She'll line it down the middle, popped up back row by Jan for Pierce. Off the block at the net and down, and Megan Pierce picks up her first kill here in the fifth and grows that lead back out to 3. Taylor Weingart will take the serve for Caliche. Weingart lines it short, popped up by Kylie Kuntz. Set it up, and the free ball played over by Emily Palzer. Checked up by Hannah Yon. Lewis will set it up down the middle for Morgan. Over the top of the block, dug out by Kuntz. Noble will set it up. Far side, Schaffert rifled down and in for a kill. Otis Bulldogs keeping that fight up. Very good matchup here on the gold court at the 15th annual NJC Spectacular. Line serve deep by Noble. Will be popped up back row by Edler for Caliche. Lewis sets it up to Sammy Morgan. Blocked back by Palzer. Tipped over by Stump. Played up high by Schaffert down the middle. Palzer will tip it short. Popped up by the Buffs. Lewis will set it up for Jan. The dig from Kirby back onto the Buff side. Lewis sets it up this time for Shani Stump, who tips it down the line and in for a kill. Make it 9-6 in favor of Caliche here in the fifth. The timeout will be taken by the Otis Bulldogs as they want to talk things over and don't let this get any further out of control. Winner likely will face Akron in Game 8 on the black court, while the loser will likely face Resurrection Christian in Game 8 on the gold court. Game 7 today looking like it'll be Dayspring Christian and Heritage, Sterling JV, and Briggsdale, barring any upsets the rest of the way. They're already underway in the fifth match over on the gold court, and we're still playing the third match here on the black court. Or we're in the black court, we're on the gold court. I don't know. Moral of the story is we're seeing a lot of volleyball today. Some great volleyball teams as well. I'm pretty sure in the rankings on ColoradoPreps.com, Akron, Res Christian, Otis, and Caliche all were ranked in their respective classifications. And that Dayspring Christian team always seems to find their way into the regional round as well. The line serve down the middle will be popped up back row by Schaffert. The attack from Palzer. It went out, and it's 10-6. Now the official is going to check the rotation on the Otis side. And Caliche with a 4-point advantage. Line serve deep will be popped up by Schaffert. Set it up for Schaffert. Her attack off the block of the net, popped up by Noble. Set it up down the middle, and the free ball over by Palzer. Dug out by Lewis. Bump set down the middle, and Morgan will lefty tip it deep. Popped up by Kirby. Back row set it up for Schaffert. Her attack popped up high by Edler. Edler will then turn and punch it down and in for a kill, make it 11-6 here in the fifth in favor of Caliche. Rifle serve down the middle in for an ace, 12-6. And Bonnie Kuntz is going to step up and take a timeout on the Otis side as her young team is struggling in their first fifth game of many of their careers. The ones that played varsity last year were there for the state championship, where Otis got down 2-0 and came back and won their third state championship in the last 9 years. In the fifth, much in similar fashion to what Caliche is doing here. Otis and Fleming in that championship game kind of went back and forth, and then all of a sudden, bang, Otis took him out. Well, Caliche's turnabout fair play to the Otis Bulldogs. And speaking of Fleming, Caliche plays Fleming, I believe, at Caliche on Tuesday night. the Buffs out on the floor in this decisive fifth. Line serve down the middle will be popped up by Patterson for Otis. Set it up for Palzer. She'll angle it deep. Dug up by Hanning on back row. Set it up for Edler. Edler's attack banged off the block at the net, and it's 13-6. And Otis, who finished last season undefeated and started this season 3-0, I believe this is a 34-match winning streak for them. It's going to come to a close if they can't find a way to surmount the 7-point deficit in the fifth. Line shot down, make it 8-point deficit in match points as Shaney Stump comes up with a kill. And the Buffs are going to look to put down the defending state champs and likely face Akron in the championship matchup of this 15th annual NJC Spectacular. Of course, the Buffs still have 2 more matches to play in pool play. Line down the middle, ball set up for Schaffert, and Schaffert's attack deep, too deep and out. And the Caliche Buffs have pulled off the 5-setter, come from behind fashion, just like Heritage Christian did in our previous match, getting down 2-1. They came back and won it in the fifth by the final tally of 25-15, 21-25, 16-25, 25-23, and 15-6. Caliche goes to 1-0 on the day. Otis to 1-1. Otis still has Sterling JV to play. Caliche's on the court next against Heritage Christian. Then Sterling JV in our sixth. And we'll be back with that match from the Bank of Colorado Event Center here at the 15th Annual NJC Spectacular on ColoradoPreps.tv.